Hello everyone, welcome to Vintage Red Diesel. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Kyle. Today we're going to be working on 986. I'm going to be working on steps. As you can see, if I get the light right, lots of rust in there. Everything's all cattywampus. And try and replace all of that stuff. Get rid of that crap in between. What I'm going to do is cut all them side pieces off of the 3 steps, make one new solid piece in there and weld them in solid, and there won't be those 3 layers in there to rust away like that and do that. So I guess let's get started. Now they're on a little better light here, not being way in the back shed. Kind of still hard to tell. You can see there's holes rusted through them side plates in there right in front of the wheel. And this side ain't one bit any better. Rusted through there. Everything's peeling away, cracking away. So we're going to get rid of all that crap. Got some new 1/4 inch by 5 inch wide flat stock we're going to use. First of all, I'm going to start by copying the angles up there with a combination square and transfer them onto the new sheet. And I'll take measurements for the length, and then I'll take the plasma cutter and slice everything out. There. Alright, I got them left out. Let's cut it out. Alright, ready to pull the steps off. See if any of these bolts are gonna come out at all. See if I can focus on what I'm doing. Not sure if they're really gonna come, but I'm gonna try. Stripped out. Same thing. Something like that. Carriage bolts. Yes. Success. Got that one to come. I need to get better. There. Now I'll take it to the welding bench and cut them bolts. That's more like it. See if we can be There we go. Not a hell of a lot left to that. I'm surprised that was even holding anything anymore. Wow. That was held with hopes and dreams. This one ain't so bad. Granted, there ain't much to it, but a hell of a lot better than the other piece. None of that is too much. Well, now I gotta get this crap cut off the steps. Let me get a hammer. Perfect. Alright, now that that crap is off, we gotta clean up these edges and cut off the extra burrs and bummer. There, that's looking much better. Everything cleaned up nice. Ready for new welds, both ends. This side I got a little aggressive on the grinder at the wrong angle, but nothing I can't handle with a welder. Alright, I'm gonna get the other two cleaned up. Alright, I think I got some of all the welds pretty well cleaned up on there that should re-weld on. I think right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pressure washer and see if I can blast off any of that dirt and stuff, because when I'm done welding this I'm going to want to squirt a little bit of paint on. Not that it's going to be a good prep job, but better than this. Let's continue on. Alright, I got a lot of the loose flaked paint pressure washed off, what'll come off. This is probably one of those jobs that a pressure washer, sandblaster, water blasting, whatever you want to call it, would come in handy for. I've seen other YouTubers use it. Probably something I should try. Alright, had to cut off the toes a little bit on those beveled angles. I see that one ended up just a touch shorter than the other one, but that isn't nothing to worry me on this job. I think that one cut off also. Now I'm going to start getting them set up and ready to weld together. Oh, he does it. He just third hand. Anyway, got that tacked there. Tacked there. I think I got that nice and level. I gotta put a tack weld on that spot yet. I'm gonna get the next step on. Alright, I got it tacked on. Just so you guys know I don't drop my helmet, I do close my eyes. That gap there, that ended up a little bit bigger than I anticipated. I'm gonna have to find some filler material. I ain't gonna get that all with weld. Try to put it the right way. That helps too. Just a meeting square-ish. Now, oh, that looks way off. That stuff that twisted. Yikes. Alright, it appears this bottom step has a little twist into it. It measures out accordingly too to collaborate with that twist. At the length from here to here on the other end is longer than what the other 3 points are. The bottom 2 points and this back point over here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is get this top step welded on the rest of the way. And then I'm going to take a clamp from up here to down here and see if I can pull it square. We'll see how lucky I get. Sometimes I'm lucky, sometimes usually not. Alright, can you say sketchy? Sometimes that's just what you gotta do when you ain't got the proper clamp for the job, but anyway, she pulled in pretty nice and square, so I'm gonna get her tacked in. I think I'm ready to get the middle step in. I gotta finish welding this stuff up here yet too, but I'll do that after. Right now, let's get the middle one in. Clamp this into place again. Alright, I think what I'm going to do right now at this point in time is hang it on the tractor just to see how everything's going to size up and fit. I do have to weld these points down here yet, but before I get ahead of myself, in case something doesn't look right, fit right, be easier to hack apart this way and start over. And by no means am I any sort of professional welder, I'm far from that, but I can at least make stuff hold together. Oh, it ain't all perfectly straight and up there tight yet. I just got a dang going on, but so far I think she's looking a lot better. I'm gonna finish welding it up and then we'll make it red. Not my brightest work, but I had a little filler piece in there, so I'm gonna tack that in and finish getting everything else welded in. Thinking the rest of that gap I should be able to meet up. Thinking the rest of that gap I should be able to fill in with the welder. Anyway, I got them all welded in, so now I guess I'm just gonna clean off some of the splatter with the wire wheel and move on to the next step. Alright, on the paint. Might be one step shy of professional, but it'll be red. On the positive side, it is ventilated. Ended out. This time I decided to grab the wimp trigger. Really? Huh. Well, that's all sorts of cool. I couldn't see that before I started painting it. She's cracked out there. Kind of hard to see, but it'll function. Alright, she squirted red. Like I said earlier, nothing professional, but it'll do the job. Properly it would have been something to get sandblasted and primed and painted, but I didn't even have any primer here to prime it with today, so just trying to get this together and get it on. So with that being said, I'm gonna let this dry and probably bolt her on tomorrow. Alright, let's get this put on. Now let's get it put on. Alright, that's on. Looks good as new. Lot nicer than what it was before. Nice and straight, not all rusted away. My welds and painting might not be the best, but it's a heck of a lot better than what it was. Wasn't too far away from somebody stepping on it and hitting the ground. So anyway, I guess I should give it a test. Well, with that being said, this looks like another project out of the way. So I guess I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.